Sometimes I forget. Hey, hello again, and
Hey,
welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, B?
I am good. It is springtime in the Carolinas.
Hey, it wasn't a beautiful day today.
Hey, opening up the pool this weekend. A lot of work, but we're going to enjoy it.
Sounds like an invitation. All right, I look forward
Yep.
to it. All right. Hey, we got a special guest coming today. Chris Whitney's going to be with us. We're getting into some spring football that happened yesterday. We're going to highlight this weekend's results from baseball, softball at Clemson. I have a surprise interview. I've been saying something big was coming, and we got Chris Whitney. That's big, but if
Yep.
something's big, we got a big interview. It's a recorded interview, but it's going to be awesome, and we're going to give away a koozie. But first, just want to point out that we are a proud part of the Fanboys, Fangirls Podcast Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys, Fangirls is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and all forms of social media. The Fanboys, the Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans. And where is our official place to eat for away games, Bailey?
Well, we can eat there anytime. But
Yeah, this is true.
Rubens, Food, Sports, Spirits, and Catering, the best wings around, with 2 locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. Find them at rubensc.com. Rubens is a great place to eat for all sports fans.
That's right. Awesome. So the big thing kind of happened this weekend at Clemson. Obviously, it's a big football school, so we had the spring game. So let's talk about the spring game real quick, Bailey. Were you able to watch the spring game?
I did not. And why don't you give your take on the spring game? I know the defense played well. I know the offense was very vanilla, I'm imagining. And I know some guys did not play. So you
Right.
give your take, and then I'll give my take on spring football in general.
Got you. So my impression was it's kind of like Bailey said. I thought the defense played really well, and I'm fairly certain, not 100% sure, but fairly certain Xavier Thomas didn't even play. And in my opinion, he's the best player on the field whenever he's out there. When he walks on the field, no matter who we're playing or what's going on, he's the best player on the field. And the offense, I mean, there were obviously some really good positives. We have some studs running the ball. Okay. Maffa looked bigger than last year. He's starting to look like a Derrick Henry type running back or something. I mean, he even looked taller. I don't know. Maybe he grew a little bit vertically as well as in the weight room, but he just looked big running the ball. Dominique Thomas looked like a little Barry Sanders to me, and not just because he was wearing number 20. He's got a little maneuverability there. And Shipley didn't even play. So
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
talking about
we've talked about this before. They got guys we don't even know that are
right.
capable of playing, and they're Division I football players, and that's what they do.
Yeah, they look good. Peter Woods was a freshman that looked really good, a true freshman, and he definitely did not look like a freshman
He's the
for
real
sure
deal.
out there. That's what everybody's saying. He's a phenom. And it was so. This is the take on the offense in general. First of all, they didn't look like great. However, I think people were looking for something. People were looking for something very different. They were looking for, hey, we got a new coordinator, and that is exciting. And I'm sure there are some things that are different, but I don't think that was something we were going to see in the spring game. It's still a spread offense. It's still, the similar philosophy type. There's a lot of screens and that kind of stuff. So that type thing probably made the attitude towards the offense feel not so great. Klubnik was putting some passes on the money. All right. He was putting passes on the money, the timing routes.
8 out of his first 9.
The timing routes that I saw, there was one that was underthrown, but at the same time, we had some cornerbacks that just made some plays. So it's tough when you're playing an inter-squad scrimmage, whether one side's doing really well, the other side's making them look not so great. But
Well, I really think the defense is, and from coaching all those years,
right,
that the defense should be ahead of the offense at this point,
correct.
especially if you have a new offensive coordinator. So
That's right.
look, but I still really think the defense will be outstanding, and that means you don't have to score as many points.
Right. And like I pointed out that, or I don't think I've said yet, but the way our offense looked, they may have been up against the best defense they'll see all season. And that's the truth. Our linebackers, our entire defense is legit. So,
and we made a couple field goals. Different guys made field goals. So that's a big question mark going in, is who's going to
take over for
field goals
BT
and extra points for BT Potter.
Mm-hmm.
So I see in your notes you said Cade's got to quit running backwards.
Yeah, that's the biggest negative I saw.
Yeah, they'll fix that.
They should have already fixed it.
Like you said, Mr. Negative, they're playing against the best defense they might play. Now, can I give my take on spring football?
Yeah, of course. You're the co-host.
I used to despise spring football as a football coach.
Oh, good. Yes.
All right. So now with high school stuff, they're ready to play first game. They want, you can play the first game the first of August.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no longer do you wait on that first practice like the last Friday in July where it was the first practice you're going 2-a-days, because they practice all the time now. All sports do pretty much. So I look at the spring as a chance to see some guys that you maybe don't see as much during the season. And it's a reward. The spring game is a reward. And because of ESPN and people like that, we now have all these games televised. There's 50,000 people there. And, but the game is the reward for the kids that have worked hard since really the end of last season. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock into what you saw on offense because you know and I know they're not running anything that's going to be rolled out Labor Day against Duke. I mean, they might run the base package, and I'm sure those coordinators had a list of things. This is what you can run, period.
Yeah, well, I think the coordinators were calling for both.
Yeah,
like orange and white offense.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but
Godwin did the defense and the new guy did the offense.
But yeah, you're not wrong. I had a head coach in one of my years coaching, won't name who it was, but they literally said the only reason we do spring is because everybody else does it. So yeah, it's not. But now, did you hear? Speaking of, Dabo made some comments about not spring specifically, but having a spring game and the potential to have a preseason game. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. But I mean, there are some schools that would like to play someone else in the spring.
Yes. Yes. And that's what Dabo was saying. Literally, college is the only level that doesn't play some type of preseason. High schools have preseason scrimmages and jamborees.
Right.
The NFL obviously has their preseason games. They've cut them. I think they've taken one out, but they still play 2 or 3 or so.
Well, they added to the regular season.
And yeah, right. But college does nothing. So I think that would be a very good thing. Dabo likes it. It would be in August. It would probably make even more money and then have even more people. But you are correct. The lower bowl in Death Valley Saturday was pretty full. So that was really good. Like I say, kind of lends to the excitement of folks looking forward to the new offensive coordinator. And we're just excited about the season because there's definitely going to be some tailgating.
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
All right. So I think that's enough about football for now. And I think we're ready for our special guest. I'm hoping. I think he can hear me. We're going to drag out this introduction a little bit. So today we have Clemson basketball Hall of Famer from 1991 to 1993, an all-AC basketball player, second-round pick to the San Antonio, not just the Antonio Banderas Spurs, but the San Antonio Spurs. Second round, that's pretty good. And 11 seasons in the NBA, Mr. Chris Whitney. Chris, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, we're just glad to have you on here. I mean, we are so excited. We appreciate Wayne Buckingham helping get you on here, but yeah, we appreciate you taking the time to hang out. We were there about the same time, and you guys are like, y'all are like superstars because y'all were, and back in the day. So we love having you on here. So first of all, just tell the folks, what Chris Whitney's up to today.
Oh, I'm just enjoying life and enjoying my second retirement.
Uh-oh. He froze up.
Teammate of mine, Jihadi White. We're doing some things with current players, and mostly we're trying to focus on retired players to help them, in the transition to afterlife in the NBA.
Right.
Okay.
Very good.
So tell us, how did you end up at Clemson? When you were being recruited, how did you end up there?
Well, I guess it was kind of like anyone else being recruited. I was seen. Clemson was the year prior was just coming off winning, as Buck likes to call it, the best team Clemson ever, winning the
Yeah.
ACC and all of that. And my first visit, I went to Miami, and then I went to Arkansas, and then the third one was the Clemson. And I remember Coach Ellis, he asking me to name the point guards in other conferences, and the only one I could think of right off the top of my head was Sean Woods, at Kentucky, because I'm from Kentucky.
Right.
And he said, name the point guards in the ACC, and I was just running them off like Kenny Anderson and John Crotty and all these guys. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Hurley. Just running them off. And he was like, well, where are they going to be when they leave school? And I said, they're going to be in the league. He said, if you come and do what we think you can do, that's where you will be. I was sold.
Yeah.
I was sold. And I'm glad I canceled my other visits. And it was a good choice for me.
Very good. Yeah. And he was not wrong.
Evidently not.
So you mentioned Buck saying that 90 team was the best team ever, and I'm admittedly stirring the pot. What's your take on that? Was that the best team?
Well, you can't. It's hard to argue that, with
Okay.
the record and the things that they were able to do in the tournament and things of that nature, winning the ACC. So it's hard to argue that. So I'd like to see us against them if we were a little seasoned. They had like two. We were so young as I was the oldest on the team and I was a junior.
Mm-hmm.
And but they had like two first round lottery picks. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see their team against us my senior year. Then we decide that. But you can't argue with what those guys did.
Oh, we can't argue. That's
Fair
the fun
enough.
part. But okay, that's fine. We
Well, I
do
won't.
appreciate that.
So
Go ahead,
what's your favorite memory as a player? One or more, whatever you want to share with us.
Oh, I mean, at Clemson, it had to be beating Florida State in the ACC tournament. Winning the first game and then beating them. They had a great team. I think 4 first rounders on the team, and being able to beat them and just my 2 years at Clemson. Period. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Was that the year? Did they have a point guard
Sam
that could
Cassell,
shoot?
Bob Sura,
Yeah, Charlie Ward.
Oh yeah, they were loaded.
Yeah. Doug Edwards went first round. Rodney Dobard. They had a pretty good team.
Yeah, that was good. So while you were there, we started this podcast mainly to talk about the fun we have going to football games, but obviously we're going through the rest of the season talking about all the sports. Did you attend football games when you were at Clemson?
I have to tell the truth. No.
No.
I enjoyed watching it in my apartment in Calhoun Courts. I enjoyed just watching the game. I watched them, but I didn't attend them. I must say I didn't. The only game I attended was when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, there you go. Well, you're always welcome at the tailgate.
That's a good reason to attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be all right.
Well,
I'm
do
sure.
you ever get back? You ever get back to Clemson now?
Yeah, I was just there last June, I think, when Buck did the golf tournament. I was there for that one. I used to get back a whole lot, especially when I was playing. We would go back, myself, Dale Davis, Chubby Wells. He would always have a camp in the area. We'd go work the camp, and we'd go up to Clemson and play. And then, my little brother, He's literally like my little brother. We grew up together. Greg Buckner, when he was there, I would get back, of course.
Oh, he was good too.
Yeah, well,
He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
I remember that. All right, I'm gonna go off script 1 second.
All right.
Since we're having, all right, I found this picture, and yeah, look at that picture, right? So, but what stands out to me? Look how loose that jersey is. I mean, isn't that the way basketball jerseys are supposed to fit? What in the world has happened in the world of basketball?
It goes like this.
Yeah, I think it's the dry fit area. Everything is fitted now. So, and what's crazy is that's my senior year now. That's when I actually got a little bigger. I thought I was big.
Well, even so, it's like, I know as when we first started coaching, all the kids, they want all that stuff big. They wanted it big and loose and baggy, and kids that should have been wearing mediums wearing XLs and whatnot. Yeah. So, but anyway, that was the.
Well, I got to about 40-something years old. Nothing tight on me now, so we don't wear anything tight.
No, we don't. We need to breathe. We need to breathe.
Yeah. All right, Chris. So you started your pro career with the Spurs, but played at least one season with Michael Jordan and the Wizards, right?
Yeah. Well, I have to correct you, Dan. I correct everybody with that.
Okay. Michael
played with me.
No. Okay.
No, okay. Excellent.
I'm joking. So whoever, don't send this to MJ. He will call. I'm joking. I always say that because I was in DC first. But yes, I got to play with my idol, the great Michael Jordan. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us. Well, I mean, since he is Michael Jordan, what was that like?
Wow. I mean, honestly, when people say that he walked in the room, it's like he's floating or things of that nature, it really is true. Because I could have sworn the lights got brighter when he walked in. And his locker was right next to mine. We sat across each other on the bus on the road. It was kind of surreal. I grew up just like everyone else my age. We grew up watching him, and but to play with him, he gave you this level of confidence that I don't care who we're playing, we felt we were going to win, because even though at his age, he had that confidence. We saw the work ethic. We saw the work that he put in, the things that he put his body through to be able to play. And we just felt like we could win, and we did. And unfortunately, he got hurt and was out for a spell. But just playing with him, it was an honor, and I felt blessed to do it.
Now, has that carried with you, like even now, having played with him? Just think about it in that some kind of way, or help you in any kind of way, or anything like that.
Well, I mean, helping me was, I'm sitting here and I've been retired for 6-7 years, and I'm like, well, I'm bored. I'm tired of taking kids to school, and I'm gonna do something. And I called two people. I called Coach Ellis and I called MJ. He said, man, I'm bored. I need to do something. They both said, I got you. And I went to work for MJ for 8 years in Charlotte. So, I mean, and we're still okay to this day. I don't have to talk to him every day. I don't talk to him every day, but
right.
But just I think one of the things that took place at playing with him was people got to know me a little bit more, because every game was on television, and they got to see me a whole lot more.
Right. Yeah, you were in the front office when Charlotte was the Bobcats or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I was with the Bobcats, and then we went to the Hornets. I was there when they switched over to the Hornets as well.
Very good. Mm-hmm. All right. So what other is there any other NBA star that made an impression with you?
An impression? I mean, I don't.
Anything that would stand out to the fans?
No, nothing really.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, like I say, I remember having some classes with you, and you were always a very down-to-earth, humble guy. And the more we talk with, when I'm gonna say you guys, to folks that were like superstars when we were in college, like celebrity types, you guys y'all think of each other as normal, just like me and Bailey think of each other. So it's probably a tough question to ask. We might think somebody made some impression or whatever, but you're hanging out with NBA guys.
Right.
And to us, we would think that would be awesome, but to you, is they're this year's teammates or whatever. So it's cool.
Well, you know what though? It's sometimes we have a conference call with a bunch of alumni from Clemson basketball players,
Mhm.
and I still get like, I'll be like, I do be in awe. I see Eldon Campbell, Horace, and Dale and I, we actually lived together when I first came out of school in one of Tree Rollins' homes in Atlanta, during the summer while we was working out. But I still get like, I remember looking at the book that they were sending, all the paraphernalia they were sending me, and I was seeing all these guys on it, and so I still get like in awe. Like I think I remember the first time that I played against Eldon, and it was in LA, and I never met him before. He just walked past me, tapped me on the hip. "What's up, young fella?" I was like, "Wow, that's Eldon, Clemson." You know what I'm saying? So, but it's still, those things right there. They still hold dear to me. One of the first guys I met was like Marion Cash, and I remember being in study hall, and he was finishing up his degree there. Just being in study hall, talking to him, and things like that stands out to me though.
That's cool. So speaking of the folks from Clemson getting together,
Mhm.
and you've already mentioned Wayne's fundraiser.
Mhm.
So tell us about, so this coming August is the 4th annual, the gala. He's adding the gala. So it's a whole weekend's
Mhm.
worth of stuff. Friday night, there's like a
Right.
tailgate. There's a gala event on Saturday. And see, there's going to be a roast with the 90 championship basketball team and the 81 football, I've heard. So I'm not going to have to stir the pot there.
Not
So
at all.
yeah, that's going to be really good. And then the golf on Sunday. So you're planning to attend this, correct?
I am trying to fit that into the schedule. It's normally easier for me when it's not in August. I have two birthdays. My kids, one's on the 2nd and one's on the 5th. So it kind of depends on what they have going. And Wayne's gonna tell you, bring them all down there. I'm like, Wayne, I don't. They've been to Clemson before. I don't know if they want to travel back down there, but I am trying to work it into the plans. And I think what people need to understand, like. You call him Wayne. I call him Big Bruh or Buck.
Yeah.
And but Buck has always been a giver. You know what I'm saying? So him doing this doesn't surprise me at all. Every organization or person that he makes it services around it is for a great cause. So yeah, I'm trying to make it in there. Last year I had a great time. Speaking of which, Grayson Marshall, every time I see him, it's like, wow, that's Grayson Marshall right there. You know what I'm saying? So, it's always good to catch up with those guys.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yep.
we're looking forward to it. And so you've been there before. So anybody listening, they could get a ticket, and there's definitely going to be, whether you make it or not, there's going to be dozens and dozens of
Yes.
former Clemson, basketball, football coaches, players, etc. Definitely. And I call him Buck too, but I'm scared to say Buck too much on this. I don't want to get letters mixed up and get in trouble on the podcast. So I just sometimes stick with Wayne.
We don't need FCC calling anybody like
yeah,
that now.
yeah, we'll definitely get in trouble. So but we are going to be there, and we're going to be promoting this event from now until then. And at the event, we're going to go and still try to get some people online, because there's a way to give online. And if you're listening, we'll share this link that we're referring to. So if you want to join us, a lot of different ways to join. Like I say, hopefully meet Chris, definitely meet Grayson said he's coming. We had him on here a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's definitely coming.
Yeah.
And the Horace is locked in.
Yeah.
And there's actually a way to hang out with Horace, and we can explain that later, but because we can let Chris go, but we appreciate Chris's time. Chris, we appreciate it. It was really good to talk to you. Hope your second or third retirement's going well. You probably got a fourth coming.
I hope not. I hope this is it.
Good luck with getting those kids to school.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
it, guys.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
yeah, we
Thank
appreciate it,
you.
Chris, and go Tigers.
All right. Go Tigers.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's always nice when you talk to somebody that has MJ's cell number. Okay.
Yeah, so I just called MJ.
Yeah.
I'm bored, so I just called Michael Jordan.
Well, I mean, that's what, like you talking about it. These guys put their pants on just like I put my pants on. Okay. They've done, I mean, they're exceptional athletes. Chris Whitney was a heck of a basketball player, clearly, because he played in the NBA for 11 years.
Right.
And, I mean, there's only 2 rounds in the NBA, and to get drafted in one of them is pretty special.
That's right.
And to be in the league for 11 years is really hard to do.
Very hard.
Yep.
So while we have this website up here for folks that are listening, we've dropped a couple of these names. If you or a group or somebody or can put some folks together for a $10,000 donation, you can spend your weekend with Horace Grant. Horace Grant is definitely going to be there. Former Chicago Bull. Speaking of knowing Michael Jordan, played with Jordan, won 3 championships with Michael and the Bulls. He's going to be there. And for the $10,000 donation, you get 2 groups in the golf tournament, and Horace will play with one of your groups. Get a table at the gala, and Horace will be at your table. And my understanding is he'll also hang out with your group, whatever it is we're doing at the tailgate thing on Friday night. So, and the money's going to a good cause. He's got a scholarship fund, and he also helps a former Clemson athlete in need, like Chris said, Buck's a giver. And so if there's a business out there, business owner, a group of folks that, and I say that, and maybe there's just some person out there that's got 10 grand that wants to do it, they can hook them up, but that is definitely there. We hope that can happen. You can reach out to me or Bailey, either one, with questions, any questions that you may have along those lines. Awesome. So,
you get the same deal with 7,000 donation, right? With the 81 football team.
7,000 is, we have multiple members of the 81 football team. Yeah.
Too many levels to mention on.
Yeah. And in both of those things, you'll also get your business on your logo on everything and put in the gift bag for the golfers and, all that normal kind of stuff. So you're definitely going to get your money's worth for the 10 grand. So, all right. So we've already talked about spring football, B.
Yep.
Softball, baseball,
they won the series versus Notre Dame this weekend. They've won 6 out of their last 8 games, and they're now 22-15 and 6-9 in the ACC. And they're only 2 games out of second place in the division. So they just got to keep winning these series, keep winning, qualify for the tournament. You never know what can happen.
Never know. All right. Softball.
They won the series at NC State this weekend, 40-4 overall and 14-3 in the ACC. And then the girls golf team won their first ever ACC championship in Greensboro. So congratulations, Lady Tiger golfers. It's the first one in school history. And way to go. They'll be getting ready for the NCAA tournament now.
Yeah, that's big time. But you know who never loses?
J-Do,
MC, entertainer, entrepreneur, pep rallies, corporate events, game shows, fundraisers, galas, etc. Just put that man on the mic and let him liven up the party. Not only is J-Do a friend of mine, I've seen him work, and you and your organization will not be disappointed anytime you add J-Do to your function. You can find him at itsjdo.com and on all forms of social media at itsjdo. All right, so B, gala, big time gala. I'm watching the golf. There's a golfer that we need to pull for called what's his name? The Gala. Is that his name? You're the golf guy.
Thagala.
Oh.
Okay,
well,
close. Good try though.
Yeah, he's still my favorite golfer. Yep. I'll call him the Gala.
He's been playing well. He's making some money is what he's doing.
That's right. All right. So speaking of galas, I was at a gala last night. If you've seen my social media and you've heard me talking about going to another gala, and I have a big time surprise interview.
I don't even know who it is.
Bailey don't even know who it is. I ran into a very, very important Clemson fan. Let's take a listen. Just try to ignore the background noise. I mean, it was the cocktail hour.
It is a gala.
It was the cocktail hour portion of the gala.
Hey, hey, what's up, fun fans? I'm here with South Carolina Lieutenant Governor and Clemson fan, Pamela Evans. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
We're at a gala. Our gala's great.
And this is wonderful.
So, just a real quick question for the fans. So, how did you get to be a Clemson fan?
My husband. So my husband's a Clemson guy, and since I moved to South Carolina, Clemson has been my team. And so that's where we are every Saturday during football season, rooting on our Tigers.
What is a Saturday like for the Lieutenant Governor?
Well, we get up early, and we get to Clemson as quick as we can so we can see everybody.
Right.
And then we go up and get out the field because my little guy loves to see Dabo. Loves to see them practicing on the field. And then we just cheer them on.
That's it. Sounds like my day, except the part about seeing Dabo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to hang out with me someday, and I'll take you down there.
Well done. I appreciate you.
Well, that's been great seeing you.
Wow. The Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina?
Yes. She's great, by the way.
You don't know unless you ask, right?
You don't that is
will
correct.
Not know unless that was impressive, James. There was a lot of background noise.
Sorry.
But that's why I maybe cannot hear you right now. But that was a good job, man, on location.
Hey, not only that, you heard her. Okay. I'm going to say invite us because I was representing the fun fans. She gets there early. So that's the same. It's just like us. She gets there early so she can talk to everybody and then goes down to see Dabo and then cheers Clemson on the victory. And, you know, so everything's the same as us except going down to see Dabo, but she invited us to go down to see Dabo with her.
Well,
so we have to make that happen.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if does she have like does the Lieutenant Governor, do they get some kind of police escort or something? Maybe we could just start meeting her at like the QT in Pendleton and follow her in because that would help our traffic situation.
And that would definitely help with my traffic anxiety, which if they leave early, you know, that helps as well. Right. You know, they probably, like everybody else on their way to the stadium, they probably go right by where we tailgate.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
We just don't even know it. And she also said, this was not on the camera, but she also said that she's willing to be a guest. Like we get on here with the other guests. Yeah, that would be cool. And have a legit interview with her. So
might have to wear a shirt and tie for that.
Yeah, have to dress up a little bit, but she's
very cool. Very cool.
Super nice. South Carolina's Lieutenant Governor, Pamela Evans. And she's very active on social media, showing what she's doing for our great state. And in my opinion, you know, probably the next governor of South Kakalaki.
Let's don't get into politics.
Yeah, we're not getting into politics. She's a Clemson fan. She's on here because her husband is the graduate, and like she said, her and her family love going. You heard it. They're every home game. They're there. So whatever's going on in the state of South Carolina is on the back burner because Clemson's playing a home football game. I love it. I love it. All right. So what's next? There was some other important announcement.
Yes. My daughter was named the Clemson University Greek, because she's in her sorority, Female Athlete of the Year. Congratulations, Katie Jackson. She has her little trophy there, glass crystal image, which was very nice. And, you know, congratulations, Katie. We're very proud of you and we love you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Athlete, anything Athlete of the Year is a big deal. That kind of shows that she's participating in a lot of extracurricular with the sorority. Maybe she's an officer or something, I guess. But whether she is or not, and she's gotten the attention of those folks and how great of a job the cheer squad has been doing. And she's obviously an integral part of that. So good job, Katie. We're proud of you.
She's super busy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. She's kind of a big deal. So it's time for our giveaway. We're going to give away a koozie.
Yes. And the koozie is brought to you by Diamond Etch Products, right, James?
That's right.
They have mastered the diamond laser engraving process. They can put almost any design on items such as license plates, yard signs, tumblers, water bottles, and much more for a high-quality, forever-lasting, custom engraved product. Check out Diamond Etch Products at diamondetchproducts.com And for questions or to order, email Jalen at diamondxproducts.com or go to the Fun Fans Podcast merchandise store.
That's right.
Posted right now on your screen.
Yeah, we'll put all the links when we post this video. So today's koozie goes to, now remember, anybody that shared any of our shows, put their name in a hat to draw, and Aubrey Durham Smith is our winner.
You had drum roll.
Oh, man. Start over. All right, do over.
All right, forget you. Pretend like you didn't hear that, people.
Pretend like you didn't hear that. You ready?
Yes.
And this week's winner of the Fun Fans koozie is Aubrey Durham Smith.
Congratulations.
And they just symbol.
Yeah, next week we will have golf claps.
Yeah, we're still learning. We're going to get this thing down pat. I mean, if we're going to have guests like Chris Whitney and the Lieutenant
we almost
Governor,
need a producer. We need a studio producer.
I need a salesman. I tell you what. Here's what we need. If you want to advertise, email jdilla7791 here at the Fun Fans. But anyway, how can you win? You enter, you share, and you'll get entered. Share this show, share an old show, share another show. Tag me on any of your social media. I should know if you shared it, but I might not. So tag me just in case, and you will be entered to draw. You will be entered in the drawing to win a Fun Fans podcast koozie or tumbler from Diamond X Products. Those things are awesome. Super, super high quality. Keeps cold stuff cold. Keeps warm stuff warm.
Now,
so
you
reach out
something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was going to say, and just going to say one more time, reach out to us if have questions about Bucks fundraiser coming up in August, whether you want to be a sponsor or just participate, we can help with that. I'm going to share that link as well.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
All right.
You put something on the script down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a post that you made after you went to Buc-ee's.
Oh, see, okay. So I was only going to bring that up if Buc-ee's just came up in conversation, but I guess since you brought it, so catch the listeners up on why Buc-ee's has been coming up the past couple of shows. Buc-ee's is our new Porta-John.
Listeners, I was able to go to a Buc-ee's on the way to Daytona Beach, I guess a week and a half ago, and I was just in awe of the situation. But James doesn't feel that way. James posted on Facebook back in the summertime, I guess. It's as if a super Walmart and a QT had a child and was born 6.5 feet tall that weighed 350 pounds. And was placed in an old rusty pack and play from the 1970s. People say, I don't really get it.
You can't.
I don't understand what the excitement is about. I don't understand what the excitement is not about. This is like a QT on steroids, man. It's everything you need or want right there.
You really can't see that very well. So I posted that I wasn't that impressed, and that's all I was going to say. And people were like, man, you're crazy. And then, but somebody agreed with me, and I said, it's as if Super Walmart and QT hooked up at a truck stop, had an illegitimate child that was born 6.5 feet tall and weighing 350 pounds and was placed in an old rusty pack and play from the 70s. And I mean, I'm sorry. Hashtag not sorry. That's pretty much what it reminded me of. It was too much.
It was awesome. And if we could get one close to my house, it would be like a weekly trip.
Hey. Well, yeah. So good. I'm glad we got to share that at least.
Yep.
So what else we got?
That's all I got, man.
All right. Reach out to us for help with Bucks fundraiser. That was an awesome show. I mean, Chris Whitney, the Lieutenant Governor, softball, baseball, spring football. And the thing is about the spring football, now is a long time before there's going to be anything else with football. You know, we don't sit here and talk about the recruiting and stuff. The coaches going to do what they're going to do what they need to do, and we trust them, and we're going to have a great time no matter what. But we're going to continue to bring you great stories, fun fans, plenty of great guests posting each week. Got some interviews lined up. Oh, the NFL draft is this month. Yeah. So I tell you what's coming.
We've got a little special thing.
Yeah, the fun fan version of the mocked mock draft is coming, so that's going to be awesome. Bailey, are you ready? You got my email to prep for that?
Did I get an email to prep for that?
Yeah, you're supposed
Okay,
to forward
well,
it to your kids.
Then I'll prep for it.
Okay, then basically just send it to them. So, but anyway, it's gonna be fun. That'll be coming up later this month in honor of the NFL draft. But for now, on the behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, and Bailey Jackson.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. We're out of here. Thanks for listening.
Go Tigers.